Hello, hello, I'm Steph, and I help people like you cut cravings and create a life you love. On today's cooking class, we're making kombucha. We have a couple different brands in Halifax: Cove Kombucha, Rise Kombucha. I don't know if Rise is from Halifax. And then Pop Culture. So those ones are awesome. Keep supporting local. And if you want to make your own, listen up. You need to get an alien. So we're making kombucha, and what we have is SCOBY. So you got to get this from a friend, and every time you make it, you get another one. So I have lots to share if you're in the Halifax area, or head to your local health food store. That's probably the best place to ask for one. You can order them online, but once you see it, you're probably not going to want to order it online. This is a SCOBY. Symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. And before you get started, make sure you have either a plastic spoon or a wooden spoon, because if you use metal, it will kill the living culture. So what you need is a jar of hot water. Do not use tap water with chlorine because it will kill the living culture. So you can use spring water and boil it, or if you have a filter that takes out the chlorine. So big jug of hot water, and I'm just going to be making tea. You can use black tea or green tea. Don't use loose leaf tea because you don't want any of the tea leaves to stay in the jar. So I'm using 3 tea bags, and quite honestly, you don't even have to use tea. It's just more of a flavor. Friends! No! It's just more of a flavor thing. And the caffeine, if you use black tea, actually gets removed in the process. So you end up with a tea that is low caffeine and low to no sugar. So you brew your tea, brew, and you add sugar. Sugar, healthy? What? The culture actually eats the sugar, so at the end, you don't even have a sugary product. And this is just organic cane sugar, and I'm going to pop it in the hot water and let it dissolve with the tea. So essentially, you're making a sweet tea. I just put 2 cups of sugar with a bunch of water. I have a recipe card you can get the exact measurements from. I'll post it below. So you mix that up and make sure all the sugar is dissolved. And let that steep for a couple of minutes. And like I said, you can actually just make sweet water. You don't need it to be tea. More of just a flavor thing. And a little bit about the SCOBY as that's steeping. This is a batch that's ready to be processed. And if you're wondering where to get your jar, Winners is a great place. Or you can go to the local smoothie bar and flirt with the girls there, get a honey jar, like someone I know did. So, this SCOBY, alien-looking thing, it stands for Symbiotic Culture of Bacteria and Yeast. Why would you want to have that in your body? Well, we need probiotics in our gut, and that is a probiotic. And you can take probiotic supplements, you can eat fermented foods, and this is a fermented food, fermented drink. So it's kind of like a hippie pop, because you make it and then you can actually make it bubbly by letting it ferment a second time on the counter in a closed bottle. So we have our sweet tea here. All the sugar's dissolved. And you never want to add your SCOBY to boiling hot water. It will burn and kill it. So the things you want to stick away from, you never want to use boiling water with the SCOBY or metal. Also, never use a tea towel on top because little bacteria could fall. You always want to use either a clean coffee filter or paper towel, which we'll get into in just a minute. So to speed this process up, this is brewed, and it's not going to be that strong because I just let it brew for a couple of minutes. Again, it's not needed. The tea is just nice for flavor. So I took the tea bags out with my tea bag handy dandy outer cup spoon, and I'm adding cold water just so I could add the SCOBY in the video here. So here I have my sweet tea. No longer burning hot. Yep, warm enough, but not too hot. Now for the fun part. We get to add a little SCOBY. And if you start making this and you decide it's too much work and you throw it in the compost, don't cry. I've had people message me saying, I threw my SCOBY out, I'm sorry. They reproduce every 3. Here we go. Here goes nothing. Mr. SCOBY, are you ready for your new home? Gross, right? Try not to look at it. Just put her in there. Don't touch it with your hands or with metal. So SCOBY's in there, and here's a key step. You want to actually add some of its home from the last batch. So if someone's given it to you, ask if you could have a cup of their liquid, because SCOBY wants a little bit of its old home with them. So I'm just going to pour in about a cup into our new mixture, and there you have it. Kombucha. So I'm going to cover up the top. I'll show you how I do it with a clean piece of paper towel or a coffee filter and a handy dandy elastic. Elastic band around the top. And now what? We got this sweet tea with this weird culture in it. It's sitting at the bottom. You leave this, it's preferably in like a dark place, so if you could put it in one of your cupboards for 2 to 3 weeks, that SCOBY is going to eat the sugar and ferment it, and turn it into the kombucha that you will drink. So leave that to ferment for 2 to 3 weeks. It doesn't have to be too, you can taste it along the way, but basically what's happening is all that sugar, the SCOBY's eating and pumping out carbon dioxide, I think. It's a chemical process, and so then you end up with kombucha, which is a drink without very much sugar in it. And the longer you wait, the more kind of vinegary it'll taste. So you can actually take it all the way to a stage that it tastes like apple cider vinegar. So taste it along the way. I like between 2 and 3 weeks. It's nice. It's still a little sweet. The longer you wait, the less sugar there'll be. And if you end up making it so that it's like vinegar, apple cider vinegar, and it's kind of gross, just add a little bit of lemon or honey to it when you're drinking it. And I like adding sparkling, just mineral water to kind of make it bubbly again. And then another trick, so once you ferment or leave it for 3 weeks, you're going to have what I have here, which is kombucha ready to drink. It's not very bubbly. So what you do is you pour this into containers, and you can leave it on the counter overnight, and it will become carbonated even more. And then another trick is never ever flavor it with the SCOBY, because you'll kill it. So only thing SCOBY likes is sweet tea or sweet water, which is just sugar water. Don't use honey, don't use maple syrup. Those are living things as well, which won't work well with the SCOBY. It can only eat sugar, organic cane sugar. And then to flavor it in the bottles, you can add some, once you remove it from the SCOBY, some tea, some ginger, some blueberries, anything you want to then flavor it when it's bottled. So that's it, folks. I was making a batch for my friend Karen, and I thought we would make a video of it, because that's what I do these days, make videos. So Karen's going to take home her new baby and keep it in the cupboard, and in 3 weeks she's going to have me over for kombucha. So we're having kombucha tonight, and I put in some of this stuff. Freshly new to Canada. People go crazy over this. I had a picture on my Instagram story, and someone messaged me, "Where did you get that?" Pete's Boutique now carries it. I think Organic Earth Market, and then I'm going to get the Healthy Bug too as well. It's delicious, and there's no added weird stuff. So it's just like a lime-flavored natural sparkling water. It's from the States, and apparently people go crazy for it. So that's what I did. I poured our kombucha into a container and then added one of those for a little bit more bubbly. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll post the recipe card one day soon below. If you like this, click the share button, head over, hit the hearts, hit the likes, and I'll see you next time. Live fully, keep it simple, get nourished.